And we're live in the server Mirage between Nouns and Liquid, and Nouns are wasting no time with this B play. They're going straight in towards the site, and it seems like it might just be NAF to receive them.
Yeah, and let's not forget what happened yesterday, of course. Nouns winning here 13-3. It was utter and total domination of Liquid. And of course, Liquid do not want to repeat of that at all. Yekindar gets the opener, but here's George finding the immediate trade. Yekindar waiting in the open and manages to get another one. Trades are going back and forth, and finally the advantage is in Nouns' hands.
Assassin with that USP, but now it's on to Twistzz to be much the same. cadiaN stocking the shelves. He's scanning the barcode on Carson. It's all on the MarKE now. On the site, might have just enough space if he just wants to commit the bomb plant down, but oh, what a slick movement. Looking like they're just one man stacked on top of each other, and the kill comes through, so pistol round on for Liquid.
Wow, that one looked like it was trending in Nouns' direction. I think the worst part about it is that Nouns don't get a bomb plant out of that situation, which I feel like they had time to do it. They were just looking to get a little more control, and I'm pretty sure that third frag that Liquid got was what really threw Nouns for a loop, and like trying to isolate some players and look around the smokes, but it just didn't pan out. So Nouns, as a result, will not get a force buy into this round. It'll just be the P250 for George and a flashbang for Carson. Everyone staying above the 2K mark, which of course makes sense because the buy-up's coming in the following round. On the other side, Liquid already opting to get the rifles in their hands. 3 players rocking the A1Ss. What are Nouns going to cook up here?
A1SS, ASS, APPI.
Sure. Whatever you say, Mike.
I feel like you're losing patience with me, John.
No, not at all.
Flashbang out. A mow down on. Oh, that nade. I scatter. But it's all the kills on through. A1S should be retrieved as well. So just one gun lost. Easily replenished. And Nouns not wasting our time with that second round of non-force. They just get it done with.
Yeah, I mean, without utility or anything to really make it interesting, you just have to try and win some duels with Glocks only, which, I mean, is possible, but exceptionally unlikely given the circumstances, and even more so trying to go for a mid-fight with Glocks. I would have thought maybe they try to rush up ramp or go palace or even charge into the B site, but in that situation, they literally walked into the meat grinder. Well, not literally, figuratively walked into meat grinder. As Skulls and Yekindar are waiting here at the top round. I mean, like, I'm just saying,
actually all
I
going
can't
to a
use that
slaughterhouse
word.
after this. Yeah, no, the wrong context for literally.
Exactly.
It's a horror movie now, folks.
Yeah.
Screen category is changing.
They're walking into meat grinders.
Dull viewership is advised. George. Oh, he doesn't realize his second player here. Skulls, can he get the kill? Yes, he can. At some cost, but considering it was an SMG, it's not the worst exchange in the world. Timing is going to be important here for Twistzz, which he will find the second as well.
No way.
Should be a dead man. How is he alive?
Get the third.
How is he alive? Now he's got support. And it's just disaster on for Nouns. An impossible situation. So many players would back off, but he presses forward. He presses the advantage. And he presses right into a round win for Liquid.
Wow. I mean, Liquid already have the same amount of rounds, assuming they win this, which I think they will, that they got yesterday total with those 3, which is excellent news for them. They already look more solid. I mean, Twistzz was impressive to me throughout that entire series. I believe he was a top frag at some point. Let me check here. Yes, he was on Overpass 19, tied with NAF in that situation. But in general, he looked good throughout that series, and right here on Mirage was perhaps where he struggled most, where the whole team struggled, of course. The only one who was at a KDR of 1 was Yekindar at 12-12 and had a 90.6 ADR, in fact, but I mean, it didn't mean anything because of how one-sided it was. Timeout called here, and it looks to be technical in nature. I wonder what the story is here.
Hopefully not a long story. Personally, I prefer short stories.
Yes.
You know, don't have the attention span for it at this point. So we should be getting them right back in, and indeed the timer will tick on down, whatever the issue. It's been resolved. What do Nouns want to show us in this one? Could get a bit of a techie roundup. 2 techies, 3 techies. There we go. Give me more techies. I believe.
Liquid just look more confident right now versus Nouns here on this map than they did at any point yesterday, taking the aggressive fights, winning those fights as well. Not that they weren't being aggressive yesterday, they just kept losing them time and time again. Smoke's gonna get tossed here for a potential A hit. It looked good. Does it matter? It does not. Kindar,
Wow.
Skulls, and cadiaN, and then Twistzz at the end, taking care of it.
All right, put on a clinic here. Looking sharp early on our Liquid. And I mean, certainly it's going to help with the long run economy to just not drop anything up against that. Very few deaths on the Liquid side. We're 4 rounds in. There are 5 deaths in sum total. So that is nice for bolstering the capital. Junior's got the op, though. And he can be a difference maker. Only problem is, sometimes he waits to do that difference. Those teams are all dead.
Yeah.
Kind of need him to potentially be a little more active this time than he was on Inferno.
I mean, yesterday he was great here on Mirage. He was very active, going for early fights. So, I mean, they need more of that to come through. Twistzz takes a little bit of damage, and you saw Yakinder looking for a fight towards mid. In fact, Liquid have 4 players committed towards this mid fight. Yeah.
They're going to back away from it now. But they really wanted the early brawl, and they have disrupted Nouns. They've slowed them down, because this was the intention of Nouns, is to take this middle space and then work with it. And Liquid are sticking around with 4 players as well, so... Smoke up, this could be timely. Hold the peek over!
Wow.
That's cheeky from cadiaN. They'll hear him running off. Oh, MarKE's going to catch him. Molotov ticks, but now MarKE's got the space. Caught him with a molly in hand. That's the bomb dropped in con. MarKE deleted. This heavy presence
Oh,
here.
Skulls,
really
relax.
putting down his comrade in arms. But it all falls to George. No harm, no foul. And Skulls will even polish off the last as the bloodlust clears and his vision returns.
Jeez, Twistzz was probably seeing his life flash before his eyes like, Skulls, what are you doing? And that's one of those moments, I think, when you're flicking around like, oh, that was an enemy, and you, at the last second, realize, oh, that's my teammate, and maybe you adjust your crosshair just a bit more off the model, and wow, that was just very scary for Yakinder in that situation. Not Yakinder. Was it? I'm losing my mind right now. But
Twistzz was the one who nearly got deleted.
Yes, Twistzz. That almost got deleted. But either way, it doesn't matter.
No.
Take care of business, and it's all good. And now cadiaN's hitting op shots. Oh, there's the first 2K for cadiaN with the AWP, I believe, in the closed qualifier. And the 3K. Here we go.
All right.
Hey,
cadiaN's starting to flex.
But still.
When the team is humming. Oh, he starts to move. Op can be retrieved. No problem there. And Liquid with the clean 6-0. They got to be happy about this one. I mean, here's the thing. This is kind of what we talked about, John, with, you know, it's tough to beat the same team on the same map in as many days.
Yep.
Because, you know, Liquid were pissed off about dropping 13-3 on this map, on Mirage, a map they feel comfortable on, a map they feel they should be dominating on. And you know, if they had time to review, that's one of those maps that they were watching the film, they were watching it back, they were thinking about, they were angry about. They're not letting it happen again. And I mean, we've already seen the effects. They are shutting down a lot of what Nouns want to do. CJ, often the point person for this team, is getting blanked. 8 ADRs, 0 kills. Carson, much the same way. And those are 2 very good indicators of how things are going for Nouns. If you can't get the entries, if you can't get the space, you can't get the openers, life is not great.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, that's a little tongue-in-cheek. I was before, by the way, guys, when I said it's cadiaN's first 2K with the op. He did have another 2K with the op. But the thing is, on Mirage, he's that difference maker. The AWP is so important on this map. You can't be invisible. And now we're seeing cadiaN take some aggression, take some foothold there with the AWP. He's leading the squad with 8 frags. That, to me, right now, is a difference maker. Not to mention Twistzz is doing an excellent job playing in connector, and he almost takes down Carson through the smoke there. Carson at 8 HP. As you mentioned, between him and CJ, only 1 frag is exceptionally rare. And now Yakinder will find that frag.
Carson won't be getting more in this one. Twistzz sticking around in these smokes, brawling, so eager for the fight. And this time, I thought they might be ready for him, but no, not at all. Twistzz punishing them, and the trade is there. Junior at least will collect one, but that's going to be about it. Let's see if they keep giving him the fight. Let's see if they give him the opportunities. They don't need to. Look at the flanks that are developing. A player push through spawn. A player push through apps.
Junior's
I mean, there's just
man.
nowhere to go if you're Junior. 50 seconds on the clock, but how does he possibly get out of this one? He need to be Houdini.
Needs to hit every shot, and the time needs to be off for Liquid, which it might be here. Skulls could be exposed. Oh, the shot misses, though. And Junior probably would have been dead anyway from the player coming from T-Apps.
Should have been, yeah.
It's domination right now from Liquid. 7-0. I am a bit stunned, and I think Nouns are too.
Look, the last time I was in Dallas, I actually ran into cadiaN and his team at the time at a barbecue spot that I guess I was that I think Maui had recommended to him, because that was the reason I was there. And all I'm saying is that barbecue was incredible, John. So I think
Dallas
cadiaN's
good,
ready to go back.
Yeah, it's thinking about the food. Probably a little more than that, but yeah, certainly. Skull's going to get one. CJ with a ripper of a trade, although he takes a lot of damage. I think the op through the wall got him, and then Twistzz finishes the job. Twistzz looking for a follow-up again. Another multi-kill for him. Not in the cards this time, says George. He's going to jump around. Could isolate cadiaN, and he does.
Nice
3v2. Here we go. Maybe the first
Explosive
round,
round from George. Nav has to reposition. There's so much money on this Liquid side that I might as well give this the look. Bomb's going to be down, but even if they get kills, it's worth it. Even if the retake isn't so successful. Just an absurd amount of money they're sitting on. Naf doesn't seem to agree with me. Wary of it, but I think he's getting the comms now. They're telling him, look, it doesn't matter if you die, just go. Get exits. That's still worth. Ikindo doesn't need to be told twice. He's always ready to fight, and well, he will not get this kill. It might be tough for George to stay alive here. Half holding the line. Oh, but George will hit a ripper of a shot. 4 in the round. Beautifully done. Great work from George. That's what Nouns need for a little bit of explosive play.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of George, surprisingly, he was 18-13 on Inferno. I didn't realize it myself until I looked at the stats. And 102 ADR with a 1.36 rating, the highest rated player on the map, even though they lost 7-13. So, I mean, look, he has continued to be impressive, right, throughout this close qualifier. I'm so excited to see him. We talked about it yesterday, being more dynamic, being more involved in plays, and kind of the leash just being completely undone from him. So we'll see if he can continue to do that here on their T side, as Nouns need a huge recovery. And yeah, Skulls almost gets his skull taken off.
That's a nice nade. Poor CJ. Eats that. But Yekindar checked in jungle. Now this is an interesting brawl. Ooh, this spam really finds Skulls. Does George go? He goes back to it. Had to reload. Don't know if he knew he had the tags, but apparently enough to try it once more. And at this point, well, again, there's money to spare, but at some point you got to start thinking about the long game. There's still rounds to be played this half.
That's a wicked shot.
Who's that? Now the top mid player activates. And Twistzz finding a kill is just going to allow him to save this AWP. Got the double up as well. Naf picking up that secondary, so that's an expensive habit to maintain.
Exactly. I was going to say, like, the only reason in this situation to save would be for the double ops to keep them alive. And if they're 2 rifles, maybe they can go in a little more aggressively. But yeah, keep the double op going. Another great round from George. 2 openers onto the A site. Gets the space his team needs, and Skulls was just trapped in a corner. He couldn't find his way out, and George just went back to the spam, like you said, and that's what gave them the space and confidence to continue moving to the A site. So, second round found for Nouns. This half is not out of recoverable territory for them.
No, not at all. And I mean, we talked about it with Nouns. We always talk about it with Nouns. Momentum is so important for this team.
Yes.
Now they got a little bit. Now they've started rolling down the hill. Let's see if this boulder can pick up steam. There's still ground to cover, but as we know, once they get going, they're hard to stop.
Just need Carson and CJ to get going, or actually everyone except for George needs to get going. I mean, because
Actually,
he's
interesting
the one.
here that you've got 3
Yeah.
players without head armor, because there is a Galil on the other side. So let's see if MarKE makes them regret the lack of hats.
I mean,
Snap is going to be tested with the AWP. We don't see the NAF that often. It's actually Twistzz who's been picking up as the secondary more often on this team.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But on
NAF's good too.
Mirage as the B anchor, there's NAF going to connect the first shot. He's got support from Yekindar as well, but it's only going to be one. That's a ripper from Carson, looking for more, looking for this fight, looking for this brawl. Ran around the windowsill, but laser focused on Cat. He won't expect Twistzz to have worked his way out. And Twistzz is so far forward. Junior's not ready for this brawl. How would you expect him to be Van already? So down he goes for free. MarKE might just follow. A chase on, but teammate at hand, and Twistzz won't need the help.
Jeez. That's some great maneuvering by Twistzz, right? I mean, he gets to Van. Like you said, Junior had no idea because he was busy just trying to locate targets and actually did a nice shot before that. But how can you possibly think that a player is going to sneak up on you and already be in that position? There was nothing Junior could do. Afterwards, maybe MarKE's able to recover, but that doesn't happen either. And he swiftly finds his way out of that round. 8-2. Timeout going to be called from Nouns. We thought maybe a little bit of a run was going to materialize, but with Liquid winning so decisively there, it's, well, problematic for Nouns to say the least. Looking at Twistzz scoreline as well, by the way, 14-2 with a 138 ADR. I talked about how well he's been playing at connector, but I mean, in that round, just very, very solid. And I mean, holding the ground so well at the B site. Now it's going for the force up. I mean, being the scoreline that it is, you have to try something. You can't just keep surrendering rounds.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're really just trying to battle for these last 2. Gotta get something going. Twistzz has been having a lethal game here, John. I mean,
yeah.
Last round, a nice indicator of it.
Geez.
And he continues to collect here. Oh, they're not clearing the belt. And actually, the op connecting means that Skulls can wait further. MarKE's aware, at least, but that just sets up his Opera. That sets up cadiaN to rip elbows out of arms. Wow, that went just as quick here for Liquid. They're leaving no room to doubt in these rounds. They are dominating Nouns right now, shutting them out of sights, shutting them out of bomb plants. How many bomb plants have we even gotten for Nouns this half?
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't recall
None.
that
0.
many. Yeah.
Maybe one. I mean, one in one of the rounds that they won. Another one was via elimination. So
Yeah.
let's assume they planted them in the 2 rounds that they won.
It's been really convincing. Yeah, in the 2 rounds they won, they got the bomb plant because remember Liquid was retreating, right, to the opposite sites. So they definitely got 2 bomb plants. But in all the rounds that Liquid have won, I don't think they've really had to defuse any bomb. Yeah, it's been elimination.
It's dominant then. Twistzz continuing to show that dominance. He's still alive somehow. In the meantime, Yekindar chasing this op down. You madman!
It's Twistzz.
Through the Molotov. The bomb now found, and an assassination for the last double digits. And we'll be right back. Domination, the word of the day here for Liquid, as they made short work of Nouns in that first half, not even letting them onto bomb sites more often than not. Nouns backs up against the wall, a dire circumstance. Their map pick where they 13-3'd Liquid just yesterday. And now all the work to do, John, if we're going to have a series here.
I mean, that was Nouns' strong side on T side too. And they're going on to their weaker CT side. I don't know, Mike. Not to mention, okay, Junior, nice little tap that of cadiaN. I was going to say, not to mention how good Liquid have been on their pistol rounds. Nice shot from MarKE. Bomb's going to get planted, though. So it is a retake. That is on.
Money's made. Now I've thought about lobbing the flash out, but they actually just gained the space without it. He's in kind of a weird spot here. It is a fight from Ticket. MarKE holding very passive, expecting some sort of a jungle play. Here comes the contact. First one found, a second as well. Great impact there. Considering he's just kind of out in no man's land, but it's all going to fall to Skulls. His position's now known. The bomb is being tapped, and it will be defused. So, a much-needed pistol round. But a bomb plant means they're not out of the woods just yet.
Yeah, it's some really good play on the pistol there from Nouns. I mean, clinical shots to open it up. I mean, 2 laser beams to the heads of the Liquid players. And then afterwards, great teamwork to isolate the player in jungle. And that was Skulls, of course, making sure that he would have no further impact and couldn't hit the shots that presented themselves towards him. So there is a round. That's a positive sign, at least for Nouns, but they're still down by 7. And the bomb plant came through. That's the key difference between Nouns in the previous half and Liquid here, because they will be able to buy up 2 Galils in the mix, a MAC-10 and 2 Tech-9s. There are the 3 A1Ss, an MP9 and a FAMAS on the other side, so Nouns technically have the better buy up, and then Carson's going to open things up with a frag on cadiaN, some good aggression. 2 players, in fact, pushing into underpass for Nouns.
Look at all the space.
Yeah, they've given up A.
Look at all this ground. Bombs down. Somehow dodged majority of the spam as well. And now, I mean, the question's going to be the Ticket fight.
Yeah.
Right, there's 2 players here. They're a little wary that someone could be in the smoke.
All they have are smokes in terms of util 2 on Nouns.
If they can kill these 2 players Ticket without massive casualties, it's all good. The swing in, oh, it's very good for George. He's got him on the line, and his retake is swift and merciless. Nothing doing here for Liquid. Nouns don't drop off body. They'll get some upgrades, and they have passed the test.
That's a lot of confidence to give up the A site pretty much 2 rounds in a row. I mean, and not, I think they got 1 frag this time and 2 in the previous round, and then charge right in on a full-on retake and really not lose another body, which is ridiculous to me. 4th round found. Liquid do get the bomb plant again, so they decide to force up once more. I think that would be a little ill-advised. Looks like it's just going to be the hero AK for Twistzz, and everyone else onto pistols and armor for the most part. Only cadiaN opting not to get the armor because he wants the op in the next round. Nade is going to pop the smoke, and cadiaN sees his head fling back, eating that nade. Another smoke pop. Nouns going for the aggressive control of mid. They're quite good at this.
It's going to be a group up for an A hit. Had a lot of success with bomb plants here. A little less to work with this time around. Junior drop, there was a chance. But as it is, not looking likely. Naf going to try and create something on the other side of the map, but meanwhile, even if they get this space, Carson's pushed in towards spawn. So rotation's not going to be possible as far as he's concerned. I fell. Oh, my goodness. Give him a little while to finish his food there, and Skulls will punish him for it. A little bit of indigestion, so to speak. Now with some rifles gained, some reinforcements on, Naf is working his way out on towards this site. See if the read on CJ's spot. No, absolutely not. The nade.
Oh, missed the mark.
Takes an awkward bounce. The pressure's on. If they can get this bomb down, that would be huge. They need to kill CJ to do so, though. And it's not going to happen.
Who needs nades when you got bullets? Taking care of business there. 5th round for Nouns, but here come the rifles for Liquid once more. That scoreline looks so much less threatening now for Liquid, though, with 3 in a row from Nouns. 10-5. cutting into the lead on the Nouns side, and they built up their economy to boot very strongly on their CT side early on, which is so important. Liquid were hoping to end this one quickly and continue their dominance, but they've been stalled out a little bit. Nade pop, and in fact, damage done. Look where Junior is, and he gets two. cadiaN, Yakinder gone. MarKE finds Twistzz, 5v2, and they have full control of mid. Oh, Skulls could sneak through here, though.
He spotted. He's dropped. George not making that mistake. Picture perfect, pixel perfect on it. Talk about the unexpected play there. Junior just slamming on the aggression.
Unreal.
After being quite passive for much of this game. Much of this series. Makes it happen when he needs to, and he'll find the last as well for some extra style points on top. Nouns, I mean, the gap's just 4 at this point. No bomb plant there means it's likely another eco for Liquid. And this is far from over.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at Junior stats in terms of opening frags, he gets a lot of them, but the majority come on CT side. He tends to be more aggressive, whether it makes sense or not, on his CT side opping than it is on his T side opping, where the fragging duties and opening frag duties are in Carson and CJ's hands instead. Seeing that aggression come through from Junior is a good sign for Nouns. Skulls and the rest of Liquid are relegated down to pistols once more. He made that previous one look like an eco. All quiet here on the A side until that smoke was tossed forward. Here comes the utility volley from Liquid. George going to get deleted by Skulls' Tech 9. They charge into the site. Junior's there to answer for one, but I'm pretty sure they're going to have to concede the bomb plan here. No! They charge out! MarKE gets 3!
The smoke pop. The smoke pop is their undoing. Now it's just one man. cadiaN has a rifle at the very least. Might have a chance to create something here. He's just trying to isolate some firing lanes. Provided they don't molly firebox, he might just be able to get away with this, but that is a big provided. Oh, the hop. Oh, that doesn't stick the landing. Got the shot on MarKE at least, trying to find some damage.
Oh, he's done.
How is he alive? How is he alive right now? They've got no more mollies. He might make this difficult. He's out further than they expect. Had no chance for the reload, but he'll make it expensive at least. Add some blemishes onto that round because the money was starting to get out of hand here for Nouns, and now we get the rifle buy up back from Liquid.
All right. Timeout going to be called here because Liquid have not won a single round here in this second half of action so far. 5 in a row for Nouns, who are looking depleted. Looked like they had nothing left in the tank here. Liquid were so dominant. cadiaN was activating on CT side with that AWP, which was great news for Liquid. The guns have been silenced in the second half so far. George, along with Junior, having the impactful plays. Can they keep it up and pull this one back to at least a tied scoreline? Liquid, not enough money for the AWP, so it's just going to be the rifles across the board. Full body armor available to them as well. MarKE peeking around. He's going to toss that Molotov for top mid because he doesn't know if anyone got behind the boxes yet. And well, if they haven't, they certainly won't be now.
It is interesting to see the difference here in terms of how heavy the mid focus was early on for Nouns. A little bit more spread for Liquid. As I say that, though.
Hello? Yakinder.
Unfortunate molly spread. Just kept going. And thought he was safe. These CS2 mollies, they'll chase you.
Yeah. You got to give them their space.
Look at this. Heavy emphasis here on towards A, but with no vision in mid. They're starting to get a little panicky. George is rotating to compensate, but only into the window, not all the way over towards B. And this does want to finish A, based on the posturing, based on the bomb. 55 seconds. Swing back out. Yekindar spotted. Lobber of an HE to try and punish. And well, he will be found. The trade is there. And now Twistzz coming up the underpass. That was, a bit of unfortunate timing here. The bomb needs to get out. Naf's alone, just trying to walk out onto his A. The players were stuck, trapped. They couldn't escape. It was disjointed. And now Liquid are going to be sitting on a cadiaN save with 30 seconds to go.
I mean, they have not been able to do anything at all. Even with the rifles out, Nouns have continuously shut them down. What a turnaround from that first half. An 8th round already secured here with only 10 seconds left. cadiaN on the save money, abysmal for Liquid. I mean, yes, they do have the full loss bonus of 3,400, so they can opt to force up, but I would imagine they're going to be patient and wait a little bit longer. You do have the money situation for cadiaN that's a little bit weird because it saves the AK, so maybe that would be a reason to force up here. But even then, just consider it a hero AK. They did it before with Twistzz. And then buy some pistols around it. Maybe a little bit of util too. They're going to talk this over, of course. It's a pretty critical juncture with Nouns reducing the deficit from 8 rounds to 2. Will be exactly that. Half buy with pistols and util around the AK. cadiaN, the one using it? Yes, Mike.
Do they pick up the pace is my big question.
I think they kind of have to in this situation because they've been so passive. And yes, that worked maybe against a team like Boss, but Nouns are going to get in your face and you really do have to challenge them. I mean, cadiaN's having a pretty good game, but I would rather that AK be in Twistzz hands.
He ain't giving it up here. He's having a heater. And he wants to keep going. Yekindar will be having a little snooze.
He's going to sleep
in this one as the hop over the smoke costs him his life. It does seem like some more B posturing. It's been lighter presence here more often than not. But this round it's CJ. The support from MarKE close at hand. CJ erased. Uh-oh. The Molotov comes in the nick of time. And Liquid do not have the smokes to compensate. Somehow Twistzz is alive. And he's going to be in the ladder, and they may not expect this based on how much spam there was. Does MarKE overlook the spot? It's a patience game now for Twistzz.
I would imagine because MarKE doesn't have information here, he's just going to hold towards B, not actually go to cat.
This is the exchange. Whoa, cadiaN just made a noise. Sound cue in underpass. MarKE, ever the wily customer, is not biting just yet. I think he just gave up a little audio cue as well on that swing. On that check. Skulls now coming through. Pressure on towards A. It's Carson who's pushed ramp. So you've got a player ticket, and you've got a player pushed ramp. This is a really weird defense to read. With 20 seconds to go, Liquid have to pick something. They have to choose.
It's B.
Where are they going to go? They're going to go towards B. That's the kill, but Twistzz, you got to go back for the bomb. You got to go back for this bomb. 13 seconds, 12. There's not enough time.
There's enough time if he sprints.
On this. Just to plant the bomb, it's not possible. And with it dropped down, no. Liquid have let this clock go. They need to get the kill. And Junior will do so. That's a mercy at the very least. Naf didn't want to get caught without a loss bonus.
Whew, that's a rough one for Liquid. Probably the worst round we've seen for them so far on Mirage. They just waited and waited and waited. Bad clock management. Eventually, they do get that frag. But like you said, he had to go back and grab the bomb. If he full-on sprints, he makes it to the site probably in time to plant it. But that also, factors in if he stays alive. You got to get away from the op of Junior, which hasn't been easy for Liquid throughout both yesterday and today in the BO3s that they've played. So Nouns are up to 9. Liquid do have the rifles back in their hands, but it is pretty much even odds, I would say, at this point for either team to pull this one off.
Yeah, I mean, Liquid have not been able to beg, borrow, or steal around.
No rhythm at all.
Pressure on, though. Carson, 2 players down. Oh, the mid presence is traded back. CJ really coming alive here in this second half. But the bomb's still going to be planted. There's no one who can deny this. So it's the first post plant in a while for Liquid with even numbers up. They don't have any remaining utility, and there's a lot for Nouns for this retake. Hit's not remotely an issue. That's an interesting smoke to deploy.
Nice shot.
It'll work. Naf gets the first. First contact on. Pressure onto the ticket player, Junior. Gonna have to think twice about peeking out again, but George is at least able to punish. Oh, George. That was so very close. Junior attempting this, but time's ticking down. He's not got the chance. He's got one more shot, but he can't find the bomb. Now he's on it. Oh, that tap cost him. I don't think he's got time, and cadiaN will ensure it. Liquid have let this get so very close, but when they needed it most, the round was found.
Yeah.
There are no survivors.
That's the problem. That right there. No survivors. The money is still bad for Liquid. The buy-up is going to be limited. They have to think about this one. I wouldn't be surprised if they call a timeout here just to talk it over and make sure that they, you know, get exactly what they need in terms of utility. And okay, it's all right. They have the quick thinking on their hands. 2 Galils, a MAC-10, 2 AKs, and Skulls with no util, but Yakindar's got a full belt. We'll see if that's enough for them. On the other side, though, Nouns having won every single round in this second half will have plenty of cash to work with, full belts of util, exactly the buy-up they could hope for. So let's see if Liquid can rebuff them once more. Skulls, there's the opener. Takes a lot of damage, but an insta trade from Carson. That said, they're still going to push in. Carson's not expecting this. The A site is vacant, and Liquid are moving in.
They've got the space. They've got the ground. There's no one ticket. A bomb plant very likely here. Trying some blunders, and Twistzz is going to have some forward positioning, trying to get back in towards Con, where he had so much success in the first half. This now just late on the rotate. Naf found the timing. Completely unexpected here. And now Nouns are in trouble. I hope when he plays into their hands, he'll do so. But MarKE
Wow, Naf
won't be able to overcome it. Now fighting around the murder hole, making it live up to its name. And this is going to be a save on. This is going to be map point, series point found for Liquid. They've waited till late to make a game of this, but a game they have found.
Wow. I mean, that's
one
all
round for Dallas, John.
Yeah, 1 round, and they're set. They got to book their tickets for Dallas and get on the planes once it starts, of course. But I mean, that's not Yakindar, but Skulls, who came out immediately, wins the opening duel. Right? Gets that first one. Yes, he gets traded, but that's exactly what Liquid needed because the ticket presence is gone. And you only have Carson at connector, who decides to overcommit into mid afterwards and try to collapse there, perhaps expecting Liquid to rotate there themselves and maybe get the advantage. But no, instead, they get the A site, which Nouns have conceded to them in the past in the early parts of this half, and you saw they were very effective on the retake. That time, Naf, with some timely peeks, took the window control. He talked to a murder hole where he just was not going to be able to give up any space at all. And now Twistzz going to get the opener here. George finds the trade, and they're already onto the B side of Liquid. Skulls gets the headshot onto CJ. Naf finds MarKE. It could be over here.
It's looking like it. A curtain of utility as well. They can't even get into this contest. They can't get into this retake. Junior trying to cross, gets peppered down. It's all onto George. Just 50 seconds lie between Liquid and a spot at the Intel Extreme Masters Dallas 2024. Skulls on this smoke fade might be able to punch their tickets. Might be able to lock them in to the most prestigious event in North America. And he will do exactly that. He's been the player of the match. He's been the man, the difference maker in this one. And in their rematch against Nouns, there are no mistakes from Liquid. There are no blunders. It's business from start to finish. They knew what the objective was. They might have taken a trip through the lower bracket to get here, but it is going...